I designed this chip in 1998. I also decapped it today. If you'd like to see how to reverse engineer this chip, then this is a video you want to watch. So I'm not sure how the unboxing is going to look on this camera, but I'll just crack on and we'll see what we've got in here. So I ordered 10. I was hoping maybe that they might be kind and just send me a few more than 10, but I don't know, we'll wait and see. So there we go, a little bit of bubble wrap, and here are the chips in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll open up here. It looks like there are, in fact, probably just about 10. There don't seem to be a lot of them here. And we have a little strip. Now you're not going to be able to see very much here on the camera obviously, but here are 10 little chips. Now what we'll do is I'll open this up and I'll stick it onto the microscope and we'll have a little look. So here is the actual integrated circuit chip. Now I'm not going to be using this for anything other than decapping, so I can just touch it and mess about with it as much as I want. So let's go ahead and we'll stick this tiny little chip into the microscope and we can have a look at it. Now before we look at the chip on the microscope live, let's have a look at a photograph of the chip. So we can see here that we have the Xilinx SL1925E. Now I work for Plessey Semiconductors. They were bought over by Mitel, and then Mitel split into two units. One was the semiconductor unit, which was then called Xilinx. This is a SL1925E. Now I believe that the last chip that I worked on was SL1925C or D. So we're not far off this actual chip here. So let's go now and we'll see it actually live in the microscope. So let's zoom into the chip on the microscope. So you can see the SL1925 appearing. Let's up the magnification. And there's the numbers at the bottom. And let's zoom in again. And you can see the sort of level of detail that we can expect. Now what we want to do is decap this chip and get into the silicon. So we're going to decap this chip. Now you have to be very careful with this method. I would suggest you don't try this at home because it's extremely dangerous. What you're going to need is a finger, and what you're going to have to do is lick your finger, and then you're going to have to put the bottom of the chip on your finger like this. And now you're also going to need wet and dry sandpaper. Now I've got 600 grade here, so it's quite smooth, but you can get smoother. So you could maybe get 1000 grade and it's a bit smoother. Now the extremely dangerous part is you have to dip this finger into the water. Okay, now water is dangerous. You can drown in ½ an inch of water, okay? But we're only going to have to take a little drop. We're going to pop it on to the wet and dry. We're going to take our chip and we're going to rub the chip like this on the wet and dry. And we're going to continually rub the chip like this in the wet and dry. And have another little bit of water. Now, if you continue doing this, and I know because I've already done one previously just as a trial, but if you continue doing this, then it eventually rubs away the top layer of the chip. Now, after about 15 minutes of this, also one thing to note here is you really should do it in a figure of 8, okay, if you can. Try and get it in a figure 8 as opposed to in circles. So what will eventually happen is that you'll see a little bit of metal coming through, And then that's the point, you know, you're going to have to be a little bit careful. So you're going to have to just take your time and just do maybe 4 or 5 seconds and then have a little look. Now I would take it and just dip it in here as well and give it a little clean. And I've also got here my little microscope, so I can put this under the microscope and I can have a little look just to test it. If this is the kind of thing you're interested in, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you want more details, then you can get them on my free Patreon account. So my method for decapping is a bit basic, but it does get results. And here you can see I've decapped my first chip. Now the actual silicon here is probably about 4mm by about 4mm. And there's not much to see here, so let's get it on the microscope and we'll have a little look. So this is ×10 magnification, so let me just focus this. So that's it focused there. Now the first time I seen this I thought, well, that's pretty awful, and it's not really going to give us an awful lot of information. So you can see that the top, probably top quarter of the chip has actually been rubbed away, but we do have the bottom 3/4 of the chip, which is actually the part we're interested in because that's where the RF section is. But a thing to note here is that we actually get a much better image if we can shine a light in, and if you get the proper angle, then some magic starts to happen. So just give us a second here to see if we can get at the correct angle. So there we go, look, if I take it away here, it's pretty dull and uninteresting, but whenever we come in here, you can see you're getting a lot more detail, there's a lot more colour coming in, and we can see a lot of the individual components. Now that's just ×10. So what we can do is we can up it to ×20. Okay, so this is ×20. I'll need to adjust the focus again. So that's the focus adjusted, and again I'll zoom it in so we can get, I'll move it over so we can get the, just really the bottom half, okay? So that's it focused. Now if I again shine the light in from the correct angle, you'll see the magic happening. So look at look how much more detail we're getting. We're actually starting to get individual transistors and resistors and capacitors. Now what I'll do is I'll take screenshots of these and I'll talk through some individual components just in a moment. But what we'll do is we'll go on to the highest magnification that I have on my little microscope, which is ×40. Now I could actually get something called a Barlow lens. I think it's called a Barlow lens, which would up the magnification again by another 2, so we could get ×80. But I don't have that at the moment. So that's us again zoomed in. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the bottom half of the chip, literally just at the centre. Okay, so just about, yeah, just about here. Oh, that's about the edge. Okay, so just here. Now I'll shine the light again and we can see the magic happening. So that is about as far as the zoom is concerned, that's as the highest zoom I've got in my microscope. But if we get the light shining properly, then we should get a lot more detail. So look at the detail starting to appear. So we can pick out individual transistors, capacitors and resistors, which is what we really want to be able to do. I was hoping we would have enough detail to see the actual fingers within the transistors, but we're not going to get quite that detail. So look at this, you can see individual components appearing. Now I can pick off the actual blocks here, and I know what the blocks are because I've designed some of them. So we can work through, we can pick one or two and we can work through some of these blocks, and there's actually enough information here for us to do a little bit of reverse engineering. Now for the rest of the video I'll let you see some of the images that I've taken, but we don't have time here to go over these in detail. We'll do that on the next video. This was the very first picture that I took, and this was the very first time I started to see individual components. So I'll flick through these just so you can get an idea of how they look. You can always pause the video and have a look yourself. And there's an interesting one coming up just in a moment where I actually shine the light directly into the microscope, and you can see this here. So quickly, in this one here, we can start to see metal layers. So there's 3 metal layers in this process, and the metal layers are there to connect the components together. So you can see the lines at the bottom here, these little lines going round about here. This looks like it's going to be metal 1. So these are the lines that connect individual components together within the design. And then if you look over here, there's another line coming down here. So this here looks like metal 2. So it's the next layer up, and it's going to connect individual blocks together. And then this sort of stuff that you see here, the silver, it would be silver. This would be the top layer, and this would be the metal 3. Okay, so this is the taking all of the power out, or getting power into the chip. So I've took a few of these, and they're quite retro looking, and it gives you an indication of this kind of detail you can get. Now another thing to note here, and it's the last thing we're going to talk about, is that I do have the actual floor plan, and it's going to come up just any second now. So this is the actual floor plan. So I'm able to pick out the individual blocks from the floor plan, and I've started doing that already, and I'll let you see that just in a moment. So this is a picture that I took, and I've started pulling out the individual blocks. So I know where these blocks are in relation to the floor plan here. Now with the floor plan and the Decapped chip, we can start to reverse engineer some of the circuits. So one of the circuits that I do suggest we have a look at is the band gap and bias. It's a nice little circuit to start off with if you've only just started out in integrated circuit design. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps to drive traffic to my channel. Now if you want to see some more of this, then you can get me on my free Patreon account. So thanks for listening. I'll get you on the next video. Goodbye.